everybody, and welcome to episode 66 of Community Service Hour. Broadcasting live from Philadelphia, 6 p.m. New York every Tuesday. Answering questions left and right, seeing what's good, and then publishing to YouTube. BiONFTs and rentable NFTs.
Hello, dear Will. How are you? This is Daniel.
Welcome, California.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to greet and at least see you. So thank you very much. So we've been using a reference of biosample permission tokens to protect the rights or encode the rights of biosamples for research mainly. And the main idea of this project, where you helped us as well, and thank you for that, it was just only to represent some claims around the BiONFT or the NFT, like the serial number of the tube containing the biospecimen, and then the two identities that were involved, like usually it's a laboratory and the patient or the user or the biosample owner. In this case, we are trying to achieve extra features, not only just to have in the metadata the serial number and the two or more identities participating in the exchange of the biosample. We would love to use the ERC 4907 to establish a lease agreement for biosamples. So in this case, we can establish rewards for both parties, for laboratories, obviously, to abide to the lease contract and gain good reputation. But the main idea is to establish, first of all, the mechanism that, the proof of lease agreement or smart contracts for leasing, something like that. I don't know if this is clear enough.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different use cases, and basically at the smart contract level, it's just going to recognize a lease, but in the meat space, in the real world, these leases can represent permissions, people using your biosample NFT for all different types of things.
Yes, exactly. So the main idea, as you were saying, is to compute, because all the emerging AIs that needs your biosample derived data, such as your DNA, RNA, microbiome, etc., as the fuel for training purposes, right? So it's a permission to compute for a specific period of time. You're exactly right, as always. Epidemiologic research, it could be for forensics, could be for population genomics, rare diseases. There are many.
This is normal business. And the good thing about this is that establishing these norms now and this consent and this documentation of consent is sustainable. So when you include the people with the consent, with their DNA, with the use case, with the transparency, that's sustainable. All right, so let's look at the use case. So we have a blog post here. This is cool. Let me pull this blog post up. Okay, so we've got code here. Is there a GitHub repo?
Well, it's just the code. I have not uploaded to the repo yet because it's basically some code that we just throw in. I may want to make a disclaimer that we also use for some portions ChatGPT to help us. So, but the challenge that we have is we have not been able to compile it. The solidity is very challenging for me, kind of sometimes for the new stuff. I understand the code, but to generate new one is kind of challenging to me. So that's exactly what I wanted this opportunity to chat with you.
Yeah. So as we're speaking here, I'm jumping along and trying to, get something up working that's going to be useful. So what we've done so far is we jumped into Remix. Remix is a great place. We don't have a repo yet, so we're not going to be setting up tooling or automated test cases. We'll get there. But right now, we just want to load something. A great way to do that is start with a template and then add to it. So in this instance, we'll be using Open Zeppelin contracts, ERC 721 implementation, the gold standard. And we've also got Remix just has a button for that. So we'll start with that. And of course, they're not going to give you any features. They're just going to give you constructor. Next, let's go find 4907. Here it is. We've got four things that we need here. So we're going to take these four. We will go into contracts. We're going to paste in ERC4907.sol. I'm going to drop in this code right here. So this is an interface. We're going to need a Solidity line. Okay. Now that we've got an interface, so the interface doesn't do anything for us. What we're going to do is we're going to pull the interface in here. This code is licensed CC0, which is compatible with MIT. So we're going to take this MIT. Now we want to take my token here, and we have it depend on ERC4907. So what we need to do to make this work is we need to pull these features in there. Set user. Token ID, user expires. Let's just triple check that that matches the interface here. That is fine. User info, and that's going to update the user. Update user. Here's your event. Good. Done. Next. User of. This one's pretty easy. So this one's to make sure that it's not expired. If it's expired, then it automatically reverts. If it expires, is greater than the... Okay, so this also isn't really explained so well. It expires after that time. It doesn't expire. Okay, it's time. Edge cases, people. Return users, uses, 20 user, okay? Otherwise, return 0. So it's going to reset if it's expired. Okay, good. Next. Before token transfer. This is kind of a callback from OpenZeppelin contracts. So this looks like it was written against an old version of OpenZeppelin contracts. So let's just go tidy that up. Batch size. Oh. So there you go. This speed run here just gave us an implementation of ERC721 BiONFTs, also implementing the feature for any of the owners of these tokens to set a user of the token. This can be done either by the owner or by an approvee. You can approve using either approve function or set approval for all. Be careful with that because a lot of people use set approval for all to marketplaces and to other entities like that. You don't want to forget about that because that'll just stay on there.
Thank you. Thank you, Will. It was amazing.
Didn't work too hard, don't have to work too hard. So we just pulled in a few of the features and reminding everybody, you don't need to work hard to make awesome smart contracts. You need to be creative to make great smart contracts. Just like we discussed here a few minutes ago, if you're using the NFT and you're using one NFT per vial or one NFT per use, that's a decision that is critical to your product. That's critical. Some of these implementation decisions, not critical.
All our gratitude, dear Will. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining. So Polygon launches decentralized ID service powered by ZK proofs. Okay, we're just calling it zero knowledge. I'm not even using the word proofs. Good. I like when we rename these things and take out nerd words. Who cares about the word proof? Privacy, verify identity without exposing sensitive information. So Polygon wants to have know your customer checks without revealing who you are. You have a KYC token, you can get a token, you have to verify with an identity provider, but then you're going to participate in something that requires the KYC to have been performed, but they don't care who you are. This use case is dumb. The whole point of KYC is to know your customer, not know that somebody else knows your customer. That is not how the law works. The law is know your customer. You can't just say somebody else knows my customer, therefore I know my customer. And you can't use zero knowledge proofs and with a straight face go to the government and say, I know my customer and I know this using a zero knowledge proof. Zero knowledge is the opposite of know anything. Know your versus zero knowledge are opposites. This is what happens when you have technology people designing products instead of regulated banks that require KYC should be designing these solutions. Polygon differs from rival identity solutions. You know, another easy way, a very practical way to just solve this problem without doing anything, which is the best way to solve a problem, is just look at whether this person received any money from Coinbase. Because guess what? Coinbase, all money sent by Coinbase, Coinbase does KYC. You take Coinbase and 3 other people that do KYC, and you see who they send money to, which has to be KYC'd, and there's your KYC token. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to deploy anything. You don't have to use zero knowledge. You just collect a database of who Coinbase sends money to. There's your list. You're done. 0 steps. Polygon bets big. Allocated 1 billion towards ZK development, acquiring products, hiring talent, developing services. This is a bigger solution. Okay, so using zero knowledge rollups, that's a much bigger deal. So ZK rollups and ZK EVM, big deal. Identity, KYC, not a big deal. Okay, so this article is a little bit of nothing soup. This decentralized ID is not a product that anybody wants or is allowed to use. So that's a fail. Polygon ID, okay. Polygon has made ZK a centerpiece of a strategic vision. That's good. This blog post from the Defiant maybe overplayed the KYC aspect of this and really made it a feature of this article. It's even in the headline, but this blog post here doesn't go into it like that at that level. Let's maybe if there's more blog. This article only mentions once KYC. So cool ideas. There's probably some claims here that are useful. I would really like to see a better explanation of this use case. I mean, how many times do you log into Twitter and think, oh, I want to read this tweet. I don't want to know who they are, but I want to know that somebody that I care about follows them. Never. You've never done that. Nobody's ever done that. That's basically the product they're selling here. I don't really see the purpose of using ZK proofs for badges related to identity. I just don't see it. And this is incompatible with the strawman KYC application. So please, Polygon, show us why you're doing this. Show us an application. Get us excited about this. This chart does not get me excited about it. And I want this to work. I want the zero knowledge rollups and other approaches. These are good things. We want to invest in that. And bridges, we want to have bridges. They're very hard. You can do this. I trust Polygon to finally make the bridges that nobody else can make. I do. So focus on that. And this is a distraction right now.